May I begin, Rocket City Democrats, with one very straightforward assertion tonight. The next governor of Alabama is on this stage right now. I'm confident of that. I look at what goes on the Republican side right now, and they're having an interesting debate, aren't they? You have Bradley Byrne, who says, I'm going to be Bob Riley's third term. You have Tim James, who says, I'm going to be Bob James's third term. And you have Roy Moore, who says, I know where you think I'm going, I won't. You have a debate between now, yesterday, and further yesterday. I happen to think we can do better, but I want to tell you the one way we can mess it up. If this party is as divided on the morning of June 2nd as some people want to make it divided right now, I guarantee you we will lose in November. If we have 3 weeks of tactics that would shame us as Democrats, if the final 2.5 weeks of this campaign is not an appeal to our better angels but to our worst instincts, if the final 2.5 weeks of this campaign is too high on what's false and low on what's true, any of those things could take away the victory to which we're entitled. So, Mr. Sparks, I hope you'll join me tonight in pledging a campaign that doesn't have any more flyers sent out to households in Mobile or any other community, invoking race as a disqualifier. I hope that you'll join me in pledging a campaign that doesn't spend its time arguing for preserving special interest tax breaks. I hope you'll join me in pledging a campaign about what is true and what is right. And if we do that, this Democratic Party will take the reins of this state and will give us the state and the government that we deserve. Now, having said all of that, let me talk about why I want your vote for governor. I want to make another straightforward proposition. If you like things the way they are now,
hell no.
If you are content with a few powerful groups dominating Alabama as if politics were their own individual playground, if you like the fact that we have a 109-year-old Constitution and you want to keep it, if you believe that we are doing all we can to grow and expand this economy, if you believe we're putting our best foot forward, I'll make it real simple. I am not your candidate.
Good.
But if you want to pick up this state and move it, if you want to pick up this state and you want to build something we've never had, then I ask you to walk with me in this last 2.5 weeks. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I came back to this state 17 years ago, not because I wanted to make money. I came back to this state because I believe to my core, with every vestige of my being, that this is the most unique and most special place in the United States of America. I love this state.
Right on.
I love the state of Alabama. But we can do better. We can take this 1901 Constitution and change it and reform it and put the power in your hands to elect delegates to a constitutional convention, because don't you deserve a document for now and not for 1901? I'm amazed at what's in it. A tax code that says to mothers in Greene County that you have to pay sales taxes on baby formula. I'm amazed at what's in it. a tax code that says to powerful out-of-state timber companies, you get a special break. Come to Alabama and we'll charge you virtually nothing in property taxes.
Right, still
Well,
on.
by the way, we require annual appraisals for hard-working families who are here. I'm amazed at what's in it. Right now, Huntsville's economy, Birmingham's economy, Montgomery's economy, Mobile's economy would benefit from light rail mass transit. Do you know why Alabama can't put a dime on the table? Because of a constitution that was written when horses and buggies ruled the road. I'm amazed at what's in it. But you know the thing that amazes me most? It is built on the notion of distrust. It is built on the idea that local communities cannot be trusted to do what is right, and all power has to reside in Montgomery. And Commissioner Sparks, mark this, because this is a difference between us. You like to say you don't want a new constitution because you're afraid special interests will dominate the process. Have you been to Montgomery and talked to the legislature recently? Walk the halls. Look and see who's outside and who makes you run a gauntlet to get in. It's the lobbyists.
Yeah.
I want a new constitution to break their dominance down. And I give you two other things before I take my seat and we begin this debate. We need a governor who is 100% committed to make our schools number one, because you know the standard, ladies and gentlemen, you know the standard. If you coach football at Alabama and Auburn, you better win a national championship. At a minimum, you better be top 20, but yet we pat ourselves on the back when we move to 47 to 46 in education. Wrong priorities, wrong standards. I think we can win not just on the football field. I think we can win in the classroom. I think we can win in the university hall. And those wins won't just give us a Heisman or a #1 ranking. Those wins will give us a future. Last but not least, it offends me when Democrats say, oh, you know, we don't want to talk about ethics reform. That's just Republicans coming to get us and stick us in front of a grand jury. Ladies and gentlemen, we ought to own ethics as a party. We ought to own the concept of ethics.
That's right.
Governor Riley has put an ethics plan on the table that is short in so many ways. Riley says we ought to disclose all gifts that lobbyists make. I want to ban lobbyists from making gifts. Riley says we ought to ban pack-to-pack transfers. I want to cap campaign contributions and stop people from being able to offer $100,000 to legislators.
That's right.
Riley wants to apply conflict of interest rules to the legislature. I want to apply to the executive branch. When they've got a record like that, we ought to own ethics as Democrats, and we ought not be afraid of it. So let me bring it all home to you. I believe this state is ready to advance. I believe this state is ready to enter the future. Not at some distant point called someday, but right now. If your notion of this state is built on someday, I'm not your guy. But if you're ready for this state to move right now, come join us, come stand with us. Let us be the governor who changes Alabama for good. Ron, thank you for taking my slogan. I'm glad you like it. Let you stand with me to be the governor who changes this state for good and the governor who gives us a state we've never had. God bless you, ladies and gentlemen.